Hey guys, welcome back to Garcon Means. We have another NFL video. We're doing the top 10 NFL players in 2020. So yeah, I've got my notes here. As per usual, we've got 10 players here, and these are ranked from number 10, of course, being the, I guess, the worst of the 10, but it's still a very good player. And number 1, of course, being the number 1 player in the whole league. And if you've been watching me, you already know who the number 1 player is. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into it. So number 10, the 10th best player, is still an insanely talented player. We have Dalvin Cook, who is a running back from the Vikings. In my opinion, I think he's still considered to be very good, but I think that he is insanely underrated. I mean, he had 1,100 yards last year, 13 touchdowns. The man was a beast last year. And you're talking about a team that had, Rudolph on it. They had Diggs on it. They had lots of good passing weapons, and he still managed to have an amazing rushing game. That just shows how good he is. Moving on to number 9, we have Russell Wilson, of course, quarterback for the Seahawks. He is absolutely amazing. I mean, the man had 31 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. That's a better touchdown to interception ratio than freaking Patrick Mahomes. And I mean, he had a 106 quarterback rating, 66% completion rating. The man was a beast last year. All right, moving on to number 8, we have our first defensive player with Aaron Donald making his way on the list. You can't talk about the 10 best players in the NFL right now without talking about Aaron Donald. This man is a beast. 12.5 sacks last year, 48 tackles, a couple forced fumbles on top of all that. He is a beast at defensive tackle. Moving on to number 7. I'm trying to make this quick. Number 7, we have DeAndre Hopkins. The Cardinals got a steal whenever they got him. It is insane. Talk about how bad he was with Bill O'Brien. Look how good move it was for the Cardinals. They got the 7th best player in the whole league, in my opinion, and they give that to their young quarterback. They're going to have an amazing offense this season. But of course, if you watch my videos, you already know that I think that. All right, moving on, we have another good player, of course. We have Stephon Gilmore, another defensive player. He is, I had him as the best cornerback in my best player at every position video. Of course, you can go back and watch all these videos I'm referencing. He had 6 interceptions last year. I don't think any player had 7. I think they were like 3 or 4 tied with 6. Not to mention, he had 20 passes deflected. You do not want to throw to Stephon Gilmore. He is a beast, and he is one of the reasons why the Patriots defense is one of the best in the entire league. Moving on to the top 5, we have Patrick Mahomes. I know I talked about how Russell Wilson had a better touchdown to interception ratio. Russell Wilson's had 31 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, and Patrick Mahomes had 26 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But you just watch, there is a reason why Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl last year. He can make throws from he can make throws from way out of the pocket much easier, in my opinion, than Russell Wilson. And I think he's just a more versatile. Russell Wilson, of course, can move a lot, but I don't know. I think he's a bit worse throwing from out of the pocket. You can think whatever you think, but I just think Patrick Mahomes is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. All right, moving on to number 4, we have Michael Thomas, of course, wide receiver for the Saints. He's the best wide receiver in the league, in my opinion. I know that's kind of spoiling it, the fact that the top 3 aren't any wide receivers. But I just figured I had to say that. He had 9 touchdowns last year. He had 11.6 average yards per catch. 1,725 yards. He is a beast. He is insane. He is amazing. And Drew Brees mixed with Michael Thomas, that is... it's insane, really. That is one of the reasons, again, why the Saints have such an explosive passing attack. Is because they have players like Michael Thomas to throw to. Number 3, we have Christian McCaffrey, running back for the Carolina Panthers. Really, he's going to have to carry this whole team for the first couple of games. Towards the end of the season, I have a feeling their passing game will probably get started. Next year, they'll be a pretty formidable team. I think for at least the first 3 or 4 games, it'll be Christian McCaffrey's team, at least the offense will be, because really they have a few weapons on the passing game. Definitely, you look at I think DJ Moore. He's pretty good. Yeah. So now let's move on to the number 2. This guy just barely missed being the best player. We have Derrick Henry, the best running back in the entire league. The man had 16 touchdowns last year. 16. That's one more than Christian McCaffrey's 15 touchdowns. I didn't mention that. He had 1,540 yards, 5.1 yards per carry. He is a beast. I mean, look at. I know you can't see this, but he had more yards. He had more yards per carry, and he had more touchdowns than Christian McCaffrey. So I think there's really no. He also had more yards per average catching too. That's just one of the reasons I put him above. And the number 1 player in the entire league, the number 1 player, no player is better than him in my opinion, is Lamar Jackson. He had rushing stats that would be good for a running back, yet he also has some of the best passing stats. The man is the best player in the league. 66% completion, which is 36 touchdowns to 6 interceptions. I don't know if you think that's better or worse than Patrick Mahomes. Also, he had 113 quarterback rating. It's insane, and I know like I said, I have him up here because he's a really good quarterback. But another thing you talk about is how if he was just a running back, he would still be one of the best. A little cut there, my video messed up. Very much running out of battery storage on my phone. Anyways, forgot what I was saying, but Lamar Jackson by far the best player in the league, which is why I think the Ravens they probably have the biggest chance of winning the Super Bowl this year. They might be the best. No, I wouldn't say they're the best team. They might be. Time will tell, but thank you guys all so much for watching. I have a Twitter, I have an Instagram. Both of those are in the description. You can comment. Let me know what you think about it. Go follow me, Twitter and Instagram again. I have a Patreon. You can get, I guess you can, I technically have a shirt that I don't know how much money you have to donate. But technically, I'm pretty sure if you donate a certain amount of money, you get a shirt of Carsonian Beans, which would be pretty cool because I don't even have one, so you can kind of flex that on me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you. I better see you guys in the next one. See ya.